Hey everyone, Paint with Rick. I bought a new number 2 fan brush to do some evergreen trees. I got my paint all picked out already, flattened out. I like to go fast on my paintings and get them done quick. I do have a thin layer of titanium white on here. If you're a Bob Ross painter, I think you would call that liquid white, or that other guy's magic white. But this is just titanium white. You can see on my finger. Uh, I use linseed oil to get the paint to run. Because if you just try to put white paint on there, I thinned it out with linseed oil, okay? Uh, Today I'm going to start with the sky, put a small mountain way back there, and maybe work the water and the land in all my colors first, and then do all the detail work. It's kind of cool. You get to see how I'll start up here in the sky and work my way down, and it looks cool. I got a new blender brush too. This is that brush I was telling you about. See how it's soft, and it'll really make the sky look really smooth. I've been blending my skies out with a bristle brush. I mean, it's okay, but it leaves a lot of lines in there, see, because there's not as many bristles. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the sky and throw a little Payne's Gray up there first in my corner. Just like that. This side will be dark over here. With the same brush, I'm just going to grab some brilliant blue and come down with some brilliant blue. You don't have to fill in all the areas, because some of the white spots will end up looking like clouds, okay? And I also have some French blue. Let's mix up some cool colors in here. See how it's mixing with the white? And let's bring it down to the horizon and get lighter and lighter as we come down here. So just get a little paint on your brush and blend it out. Bring it down. I want the horizon to be a light blue sky down here around the mountain. Very light. And let's bring it down here. I'm going to put a distant mountain in there, but really small, so it really looks far away. Let me grab a bigger brush and I'll do some water down here. I'm going to grab a brand new 2-inch brush. This is a bristle brush. It's a hardware brush. It works good on for oil painting, okay? Let's run some blue down here for our water. Maybe to one side. Let's have the water come in more to one side, and I'll have probably some bushes down on this side. Also, let's grab a little bit of Payne's Gray in there. Get some different shades going in there, okay? Little Payne's Gray. And now start bringing it up and just let the paint get lighter and lighter as we go back, okay? Just like that. And then blend this in pretty good down here. Leave some of these different dark spots in there. It'll make it look like shadows and stuff in the end. All right, there's some water. We got the sky. Take the same brush And let's lightly blend our sky in now. Leave some of those white spots in there. Blend your gray into your blue. Get your sky nice and blended. All right, so right there, we pretty much got our underpaint pretty much done already. Got a nice blue sky. Blended in good, so you don't have to do much work on the sky after we get the clouds in, okay? Let's see how that looks in the frame. Wow, that really looks good. You see how the light here in the middle, it already looks like it's going to the distance here, the water and the sky, okay? Looks really cool. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay out a small mountain back there. I'm going to use my brand new number 2 fan brush, okay? And I'm going to grab Payne's Gray. And I want this mountain to be way in the distance, so I'm going to make it really small, okay? Just put some peaks up here. And you can have it come down a little bit, but I want it to be a small mountain. Now just shape your mountain with your fan brush and pull some of the color down in here just to create some mountain shapes in there, some different things going on. Just pull your color down into there's white in there, so it's mixing with the white, just like that. Very good. Now wipe your fan brush off, which I gotta grab. Hold on, I gotta grab some paper towels. I wasn't prepared. I was hoping this wouldn't be a long video. If it's too long, I'm going to make it 2 halves, but always keep a paper towel in your left hand. I had to grab some toilet paper because the bathroom's right there. But now take your fan brush and lightly blend the bottom of your mountain here. Pull some of the bottom down and then lightly blend it. Okay, leave some of these shapes on your mountain, okay? Get a light blend on it. I kind of want to put a glow underneath this mountain, so I'm going to grab, with this fan brush, I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow ochre, and I want to put it down here under the mountain, okay? I'm just adding color right now. Yellow ochre. It'll look like there's a glow coming from the bottom of the mountain. Take your a blender brush. Just any bristle brush will work here to blend this in. This brush here is going to be, I'm going to use it for my clouds in the sky so it gets a really nice, cool finish on it, okay? Kind of blend your mountain down into this yellow ochre now so it kind of mixes in at the bottom. Blend it out. All right, there's our distant mountain. Let's see how it looks in the frame. Really cool. Really cool. Got to keep this water very light back here. Maybe get a little white and run some more white in it. Okay. All right, let's do our sky now. I'm going to put some cool clouds in the sky. I'm going to grab a brand new 1/2-inch bristle brush. You get these at Michael's. You can get a whole bag of them for 20 bucks, and you get 5 different sizes and 5 brushes of each different size. Now I want this to be wet, so I'm going to dip into my linseed oil. If you do Bob Ross, this would be like grabbing some liquid white, okay? But this is just linseed oil. Get your stamp into your white color, and let's put some cool clouds down here. So around the mountain, I just want to have maybe the clouds coming from the center, kind of coming out and around. So I'm going to stamp here the top portion of a cloud, and I want it to like bloom up this way over here, okay, from the center. Just like that. Get some more white, stamp into it. Let's do another one just like that over here. More paint. I'm just stamping in what would be the top of a cloud, okay? Just the top part. What I'm going to try and do is maybe leave the middle open. Let's run a big cloud up here on the side. Stamping in the top part. Just like that. A little bit of linseed oil into your titanium white. And this is Payne's gray up here, so this cloud's going to end up looking kind of grayish once we're done. Let's work with those 4 clouds real quick. Now wipe your brush off. Come in here at the bottom and stamp it out. Okay. Start making your cloud a little bigger at the bottom. Okay. Don't hit the top part. Leave the top part white. Stamp it down a little bit. You can also, you know, when I go to blend it, I'll actually probably pull it one way so it looks like it's blowing, the wind's blowing it, okay? But there, just it's an easy way to make clouds. It's a very cool way to make clouds. Get it to mix in with that Payne's gray up here. You can bring it down as far as you want, okay? Make this cloud big at the top. Leave the top part white. Let's see how it looks. Wow, that looks pretty good so far. I'm gonna try the mop brush now. So I'm gonna try not to hit the top of the clouds, okay? And I'm gonna stamp them out after I'm done blending this. So I'm gonna take my mop brush now and lightly blend this cloud at the bottom, okay? And the sky. I'm gonna finish blending my sky in. See how it takes all the marks out with this mop brush? Very, very nice. Let's very lightly hit this cloud with a mop brush. You could get these at Michael's too. Very lightly. You just want to soften the cloud up, okay? So wipe your brush off. Now let's blend this part of the sky in with the mop brush, and I'll show you what I mean, how it makes it look nice and smooth, okay? You just take your time when you do this and really get a good blend on it. See how you can, I don't know if you can see all these brush marks in here where I stamped it. We want to blend those out, okay? Very lightly. I'm barely hitting it with the mop brush, okay? Barely hitting it. I'm going to blend some of this gray up here and this blue. Very good. Looks good. We finish this cloud over here. I'm going to pull it to the left a little. Lightly blend all this now at the bottom. Let's see how that looks in the frame. Very good. I wish you were here to see this. There's actually no brush strokes in there now, and it's really smooth. Okay. Now take your brush, the one you stamped this up with, and come in here and lightly restamp the top part of these clouds. Very lightly, just to get a nice finished edge on it, okay? Very lightly. Some of the places you probably don't need to redo it, but I like to get a nice finished edge at the top of the cloud. Just like that. And see how I left some of the whiteness of the cloud up there? That looks really good. Okay, I like that. Let's see what happens when I blend this mountain in with the blender brush and the back side. I'll make it look further back. Blend the mountain down a little bit with this blender brush. It helps push the mountain back, okay? Very good. Let's see how that looks. I like it. All right, so let's see how far I am in this 17 minutes. So I'm just kind of painting on the fly here. What I think I want to do is have an outcrop of land here with some trees coming up into the bottom of these clouds. So what I'm going to do, I'll use a number 6 fan brush, dip into my linseed oil and grab my sap green and black mixture. Okay, it's really dark. You want it to be dark. We can always lighten up the color. Let's put the land in now. I want to have some land right here. And run some trees up here off this land. Down here I'm going to use a, make sure my mop brush doesn't get, I'm going to use a bristle brush and create some bushes down here on the left now. And run some big trees up here. So let's just make some small bushes down here first. Just stamp in, this is sap green and black, okay? Let the brush create the bushes here. Very good. Let's run our trees and then I'll design some more land in here. Take your brush and lightly fill this area in here with some water. All right, let's grab that number 6 fan brush. And I'm going to create some trees over here right underneath these clouds. These trees are far away, so I'm going to take the corner of my brush and just stamp right in the middle of my trunk. See that? And as you come down, press harder and get wider. Okay, there's one tree already done. Very simple. Let's do another one, a little smaller, right next to it. Same way, corner of your brush, stay small up here, and then press it out. Get wider at the bottom. Look at how cool that looks. You can always adjust your branches when you're done, okay? Stand back and look at it, and you can add more, fill it in more. Let's put another one. Those are looking cool. I don't want to cover the mountain, so I'm going to put a small one here. Right in the middle. Press harder as you come down. Very cool. Look at that. Let's see how it looks in the frame. Those look pretty amazing to me. Let's, I'm going to run a big one over here on the side now with the same color, sap green and black. So this one I'm going to put right about here, and then I'm probably going to have one just to the left of it. So I'm going to bring it all the way up in the sky here. Pull my trunk down. This one I'm going to do a little different and design my branches as I come down. I'm just going to come straight out with them. Okay. This takes a little practice, but I'm going fast, but you can take your time, okay? And really design your branches when you do this. Get wider at the bottom and really make them come out at the bottom like that. Then stand back and look at it. See if you like it. You can always add more branches in there when you're done. But let's do the one next to it first before we do that, because these two are going to mingle together now. Okay. The branches are going to mingle together, and then we can adjust our branches. Just stamp it with the corner. As you come down, just get wider and wider. Okay. There we go. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. I like the way the water's shining through the branches, so I'm not going to fill it in anymore. But I am going to adjust these branches to make them look a little pointy at the end there. Okay, just like that. Maybe add a little down here. That looks good. Very good. Let's do our reflection in the water here. This is really fun. This is cool. So with your same fan brush, just put this tree in the water here. This one here comes straight down. This one here, it's a little taller. Now, just imagine, make this into a long triangle, your tree, okay? And then just fill it in. Same thing with this one. Make a long triangle. Fill it in, just stamp it in. Doesn't have to be perfect, because we're gonna wipe this and make it blend in the water. Make a long triangle and then fill this in 3 times. 3 times a charm. On this land, we're going to just pull a little bit down in the water there. Now with your fan brush, wipe it off. Wipe your fan brush off and pull down on your trees, just like that. Wipe your fan brush off. Let's get our blender brush that we used to originally blend the mountain and sky, and lightly go across the water. Just in the water. Doesn't that look cool? Now we need to put a water line underneath. So with your knife, you're going to get a little roll of white on your knife and run a water line right at the bottom there to make that land stand out a little more. You can even bring the water line out a little more here, okay, like that. Very good. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put a row of trees back there. That's all right. Well, let me think about this for a second. That's okay. We're going to use a number 6 fan brush, okay? And we're going to run a row of trees just underneath that golden color, so the golden color appears on top of these trees that I'm about to stamp in. So with the corner of your brush, let's start over here and stamp in what would be some trees back here, really small, okay? Just stamp in the top parts. We don't want them too big. I want them to look far back. Now take your fan brush, wipe it off with your paper towel, and come in here and pull the bottom to the right. Just like that. There, we got some distant trees back there. You can make them different heights, okay? You can actually run them through here if you're careful, through your trees. Now take your knife, again, get a little white on it, and let's run a white line underneath those trees back there. Doesn't that look better? Now we're going to add some water lines coming forward now. So get some white on your knife again, a roll. Make them small back here, really small. And as you come forward, we can get bigger. And I'm going to actually wiggle it through so it looks like it's flowing. You can put a few indications of water on your reflection, but be careful, don't cover your reflection up too much, okay? That looks good. Put a little water down here too. Just like that. Very good. All right, I kind of like that one. Let's see where I'm at, 28 minutes. I'll probably turn this into two 15-minute parts, so I'm going to try and put a few birds in the scene here. Really small. I want them to look like they're way in the distance. These can be a little closer, make them bigger. These are just V shapes and kind of pull the wings up a little as you do it. You'll get used to the birds. They're really easy to do. Be careful and pull a nice point up on your trees here with your knife. Just like that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight this tree and these in the front here. So take a dry fan brush now and come in here. If you put too much linseed oil on your brush, let's stamp it down a little bit. Get some of that wetness off. And we're going to highlight now these branches. Okay. And then I'll do these bushes and then we'll call it done. I'll do these bushes here. Let's highlight this tree here first. I'm going to use Believe it or not, I think I'm going to use I'll use white with a little bit of green. I'm going to mix a little bit of this green in with the white. That's permanent green. So you'll get this kind of like pastel greenish color. And I think that'll work. I haven't used that color before to highlight. Just dip your fan brush in linseed oil and then just get your fan brush really wet. Now, let me start about here in the middle, and I'm going to stamp this in on just the top parts of the branches, okay? Just the top parts. And then sometimes the branches are in the middle, so put a few spots in the middle there. But you see how that brought the branches out? I think you can see that. Get some more paint. Now I'm going to come up the top part of the tree here and give it some different color. This one now. You can also highlight with just white, believe it or not. It'll mix with the sap green and create its own light green color. Okay, there you go. That's how you highlight those trees. You don't have to highlight them. You can leave them dark like this. I'm going to run some highlight down these trees here just to make them stand out a bit. So the same color, but what I'm going to do is just come down my right side just a little. Nothing special. These are far away, just to give the tree some dimension. You see that? I'm not really trying too much, okay? Let the brush do the work. Let's get a dry brush now. Wipe a brush off and let's establish your bushes down here, over here. And let's highlight these bushes. I'm going to use reddish color. What is that called? Venetian red. Okay. I'm going to dip into my linseed oil, grab some Venetian red, and I'm going to try and pick out bush tops here. So let's start on the left. So I see a bush here, and I see one here, and here. I'm just trying to hit the top part of the bush, okay? And I'll leave the bottom dark. I grab some yellow ochre. Yellow ochre with the same brush and just add a little color to it. A little different color. So it's not so red. Yellow ochre out here. All the way down. Looks good. Now I'm going to wipe my brush off and grab some titanium white and highlight these bushes a little with white. Just to change up the flavor. I didn't like the brightness of those bushes. So take your brush now and underneath these bushes, just pull to the left like this. Create some ground underneath those bushes. Grab some yellow ochre, lighten it up. Even some titanium white. Very good. I like that. All right, guys, that's about all I'm going to do on this one. You can, if you got a good liner brush, come in here and put, you know, some branches in between your trees, okay? I'm not going to do it on the video because it takes a long time. I'll do this part after I shut the video off, okay? But add some cool twigs in your scene. You can actually sometimes pull the color of the bush up, okay? That's another thing. If you want your bushes to be more like, you could take a brush and just pull up at the top here. If you want the bushes to be more uh, sticking straight up, just take your brush and lightly pull up like that. You can add a little white out here too to highlight these bushes. They're far away, but there you go. There's a nice easy scene. I'll probably cut this in 2 spots, but give that one a try if you like it, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.